as a spectator, but Showtime took it that last time. Took a few more games in playoffs, as it turns out, and now are being matched up with EKC, who, like you said, has been having a spectacular season so far. And I think the meta changes have really favored them, where they have not changed or favored Showtime. And so we have a great opportunity for an upset against the former champions, or the current champions here.
Yeah, and nothing exemplifies that more than this particular map. We're seeing a very Showtime comp, Asher, Era, Mako on nxzd against EKC, who are running the Juliette. That is a little bit crazy, but that's what we're seeing right now, and I think that EKC are very happy about how this draft turned out.
Yeah, absolutely. I would be over the moon if I had Juliette on nxzd. Like, that's it. That's all you need. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I'd be over the moon if I had Juliette. And that's the end of the... Like, that character has been on top of the world this whole season. And so, you know, Joker on the Asher, very similar character archetype to Juliette, but notably had a massive nerf, getting way slower when primarying. So the opportunities here are going to be a lot harder to pull off, much more stationary turret kind of character, but still Joker roaming around, and Barcode pulling up in classic Barcode fashion, making some great saves, but the flip is going to be taking Xianzhu out, and it doesn't matter. Hello, welcome Juliette, 90 whatever % win rate. You're going to be getting another point here.
Way lower, though, after the earlier matches of the day. She has not been doing well today, in fact. But, yeah, I don't think it's like 90-something anymore. Maybe high 80s. We'll see.
Oh, no, high 80s.
Oh, no. But, yeah, small sample size is fake. Anyway, Joker with the flip available could be scary for Soren up close, especially after a flip is used preemptively defensively in the midfield. Xianzhu is taking a lot of damage as well, and almost a KO. There it is, the follow from nxzd with the dash punch, and now some dribbling on the top side. Soren pushing up all the way to the midfield to drop a good firewall sentry. A lot of pressure on that flip, but the patience coming out from Showtime will get it away.
Oh, and a great KO found onto nxzd right there. A shot dead in the corner. A fatal flaw. Just of this map, but of Juliette, a character who doesn't have good mobility to get out of tough situations. And Soren, unfortunately, oh my god, left and right, taken down by a nado, taken down by a dash punch, but Xianzhu on a breakaway is able to get it with the beam, sealing it out. 1 point for Showtime, and an explosive end to that point. But we're really seeing an old meta versus new meta sort of situation here, with the heavy damage and Juliette coming out from EKC, and the classic Mako Era, and then one big brawler for Showtime, which is just how they love to play the game, how they won last season. So far they're keeping up. They got a point, but you know, EKC might be losing another point if that's what's going to be going on here.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit scary. Good pass splitter coming out. Katsuna shrunk as well. So much damage onto the midfielder. These power plays are being pushed to the limit, but Joker also incredibly low, taken out. And now the power plays reverse and now in the favor of EKC. They're trying to take Xianzhu out as well. The coordination coming in to stop the regen. And nxzd hunting, stealing away the orb as well. And a really good flip out from Barcode, but it is a very violent game and a very coordinated game in terms of violence.
Yeah, definitely. Both these teams, EKC obviously very coordinated on the damage. Oh, but Showtime able to just pick these up, and also with that coordination, again, NASL champions gonna be taking another point right there in the power play, taking us to a 0.5. And what I'm thinking is that whichever team picks up Ad Rush is going to have such a just gonna pull ahead so far in this game. We've got the extra special on everyone but Katsuna, and that's just going to be so many CDs coming to everyone, or coming to anyone that gets Ad Rush. It's going to be a game changer, and really, EKC wants it here because they're close to winning this set.
Yeah, very close. Flip available. nxzd takes out the goalie, but a good save from Xianzhu with the Bewitching Beam. Keeps it away for now. The Firewall Sentry, though, lined up. So much chip damage. There it is. There's the ace. There's the gold emote, and there's the set. for EKC.
Yeah, crazy end to a crazy set, and really just a glimpse of what's to come. Set 1, and that's what we're seeing here. And there's the ad rush, and honestly, obviously NXzd would love to see it. Could wait and force Xianzhu to deny it right here, which he will. And now, of all the people you want to see ad rush on, Era is not really one of them. Has been getting some NATO kills, but we'll have to see if that persists. Big Fish, though, going to Soren to deny a Joker down the line, and Heavy Impact going to NXzd, I think, is the big pick here. That's Heavy Impact, extra special, ton of CDR, and just that much more damage. We've been seeing some dash punches that haven't quite KO'd, and I think that's going to change in the upcoming set.
Yeah, I do agree there. Well, we'll see if NXzd can make the most of these opportunities, but Soren playing a little bit too offensively. Punish, and now Joker in an open net to the bottom side, read by Soren, and good step up as well on the defense to make sure the goal is not scored just yet by Showtime. They have more chances though, but sending the core around the world. There's a lot more maneuverability on the side of EKC, a lot more immediate cross-map presence, but it will be forced to flip, and now the passport coming out, now NATO coming out, the creations doing work for Showtime, and flips available for the two members behind, a perfect pass to Joker, and the first point of the set going over to Show.
Yeah, bit of a different story from the last set, but I think what we're seeing here is a very classic situation, something that's existed since the dawn of time in this game, is that the team with Era is just able to put out a lot of pressure very consistently. The team without Era usually has a blink character, or we're not in the super speed meta where everyone's just picking the speed midfielders, but characters like Aimee, Estelle have a ton of burst pressure, and Juliette as well. So EKC is really a team that should explode and win points in 10 seconds, and otherwise they're stuck against a speed midfielder and big brawler who just constantly put out pressure and should eventually overwhelm EKC should they not get their opportunities.
Yeah, like right there, forcing out a flip from Soren. Joker taken down very, very low, but they got to finish out the KO, and a good dash forward and a preemptive evade will mean that Joker stays alive for a while longer. NXzd, though, good punch. Follows it up. Katsuna in the bottom corner, enough to find the barrier, and Soren a great cyber swipe as well. Dangerous spot with the firewall sentry, good enough on the defense, and now they need to find their one last burst of offense here, but it's a little bit too difficult when Xianzhu's NATO is lined up perfectly, and that's another point in the set for Showtime.
Yeah, this set been a little slow on the KOs. We've been seeing the damage come out, but not quite sealed out yet. But Showtime's they're doing what they've always done, which is show up and just constantly output pressure, and most teams eventually will break. However, that's the kind of burst that EKC wants to see. A big power play, big KO found. Katsuna with the flip, going to be using it for the bounce off the middle, and that's going to be a very clean EKC point. And that's what every EKC point that they win should look like, is just something big happens, usually a KO, some nice play for the barrier, and then they're able to seal it out.
Yeah, that's how it should look. And Barcode, of course, not the perfect clear there, but it is a power play for EKC. But there's another power play being generated for EKC. I don't think NXzd could have dash punched in that spot, but finds their way around, finds the damage onto Joker as well. This is EKC, this is what they're known for, but they're still surprising.
Yeah, and I think EKC really has this mental snowball effect where they get one good point and then they just start chaining them together. They get one good KO and they just start chaining them together, one after another after another. 2 KOs though found and 0 barriers taken. Going to be a bit tough here, as now when Showtime has the space to operate, they're such a threat, and we're just seeing the ball on EKC's side so much. They're going to need to look for another big play, but with a couple flips burned, that's still Showtime's barrier up here.
It is Soren to Katsuna. nxzd looking dangerously low, trying to dance past everybody, and successfully does so. Oh, and survives the mini NATO as well. nxzd living through it all, and now needs to be careful because Joker and Xianzu find the combo to finally take him away. Barrier falls as well on their side. Soren with the flip available. Fireball Sentry to try and catch the core, but not quick enough to match Barcode, and Katsuna helps out on the defense as well. Flip forced out of Soren by the Bewitching Beam. nxzd looking for a rebound now, and the core speed is just too insane. Barcode drops the barrier, and now it's a flip from Katsuna around the world. The Crystal Thorns, nxzd in position for the pass. Another pass, not quite enough for EKC as Showtime hold, but the question is for how much longer, because right now it's nxzd fishing for the dash punches, finding one onto Joker. Xianzu, though, has the speed to work with, but nxzd will find it around Barcode to even up the set.
All right, that with how many KOs came to EKC, that would have been a disappointing point to lose. But once again, welcome back, point 5. This time EKC coming in, getting the previous point, having the momentum, showing up and looking to claim another set of their own. We'll have to see if Showtime can pull up and defend against it. This has been a very even game, and Showtime has been, as time goes on, dealing with the pressure better and better, kind of adapting to what EKC is looking to throw out. And so really I would say that it's looking in Showtime's favor. And there it is, a clean point, 28 seconds in the bucket, and that's going to be a perfectly tied game.
Yep, perfectly tied up. Barcode MVP. And no Dash Awakenings. The Among Titans definitely an option. We'll have to see what's opted for here. My eyes are also on that bulk up as well. Always a good awakening. But Prime Time will be the choice from Barcode to have more utility, more defensive capability. And that bulk up's going to be denied away from NX. A bit of an awkward draft, I think, for Showtime. I think that despite not winning the set, EKC get away with a lot of good awakenings.
Yeah, built different on NXZD. That's going to be a grand total of 20% impact damage. And, you know, you hear 5% and you're like, oh, whatever. But when you're pushing up to 20, that's got to feel pretty nice. And, again, bulk up deny, going to be very nice. You do not want to see Juliette with bulk up, holy moly. But now still just, yeah, like you said, a little awkward. Like, Joker gets the spark. That's fine, but not... It's nothing that's breaking the game wide open. Katsuna also picking up a spark similarly, but just I'm looking at the Timeless Creator as the big pick of the draft, and you know, imagining that that's going to create a lot of value. Until then, though, until we see another, it's going to be NX out, taking a little break in the penalty box as EKC is looking to shoot Joker and try and even up the player count here.
See, NATO coming out, perfectly played by Xianzu, and a follow-up strike to the top side. Wow, just held that core in place, went for the NATO. It was perfectly played by Xianzu. And, well, we'll see if EKC can find some more consistency, because when they're explosive, they just win points outright, but it really comes down to whether they can get a big dash punch. And here's one. Barcode taken critically low here, but staying alive, and it's now kind of a difficult spot.
Yeah, Barcode low, under threat. Xianzu has to go play the core here, and really this game is like precision versus just explosive brutality, and they're just nice patience from Joker, able to slot the core in right between Katsuna and Soren there. We're kind of seeing that where EKC shows up, and they're very much a wild card kind of team, where they're just relying on all of these big opportunities to make something happen. But Showtime, again, is slow and steady. They're here to just execute where they can and, you know, hold the course at all the rest of the time. Joker taken low, though, could be, if this KO is found, a big opportunity for EKC. But again, just Showtime able to deal the damage back, and we're just taken not quite a slow time as Joker is going down here. nxzd has the pummeler speed. But now they have to get through Barcode and Xianzu. Good luck.
Yeah, but that KO is so important. Stacks on stacks now completely reset from Joker. He is no longer gliding across the map, and that makes the game a lot more manageable for EKC. It gives their burst potential a lot more room to play with when Joker isn't playing at midfield speeds, basically. The Barcode's still holding, and this barrier has not gone down yet on Showtime's side. A flip by Katsuna's creative, but a little bit too creative, I think, on that one.
Yeah, Chef's in the kitchen, getting it done. But here, this is Showtime. They always do this. It's always eventually Barcode just adapts, and now how do you score on him? And now and especially on a map like this where you have to force it through the corner, you have to get it through this Mako here. How do you do it? And eventually the IME is going to fall, and is not a Mako, is not going to be winning the interactions in the corner like that, and Barcode's just going to continue holding. Their EKC at this point looking like their best effort is to just KO Joker, and they're going to get it. And now they're back with another power play and another offensive opportunity.
But it's so difficult with an open net at your back. Soren's got to be so careful with the score speed coming out from Barcode, rocketing it forward over and over. But there's Dash Punch barely KOing, but barely is just enough when it comes to taking out Xianzu. Katsuna and Joker on the top side. Good defense by Barcode once again. Top side open. Barcode trying to fake it out and does make the save. Goes down in the process, but Joker's here and Xianzu's back. The defense is rotated for Showtime despite the KO. But there's another one, and that should be curtains for this point as the passing plays come through. NX with the Dash Punch, making sure that EKC can close this one out.
Yeah, just chain that beautiful, just chaining KOs over and over again. But really, we saw that point went on for quite some time, which is not where EKC wants to be, obviously. And we're just seeing they really want to hold out for as long as they can, and if they're able to match the defense that Showtime has, then obviously they're in a good spot. But with a point taking that long, you've got to be kind of worried. They get the KO on Joker after a while, and again, a great strategy. That guy is almost all of their offense, but now they still have to get through these two incredibly defensive Paragons in the 13 seconds. Able to, but now they have to do it again to score.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. Xianzu with the flip almost available as well. This barrier is being pressured so much by Showtime. The firewall sentry, though, perfect timing by Soren to keep the core away now. And there's the rebounds off the ensnare drums. Joker pushing forward still. There's the barrier take. Xianzu flip available. Looking for something, but blocked away, and Joker a little bit too preemptive on that flip, being taken low now. And if EKC can secure this KO, they're looking for it. That would be what brings their points in control. Katsuna and nxzd looking for a passing play now after the Joker KO, but the ensnare drums help out. And finally, another KO and a catch by Katsuna on the top side will do it for EKC as they bring it to a 0.5.
A third 0.5, and really just this EKC, this team is just such a snowball team. When they're on defense, they're holding on, but it's obviously just looks so nice for Showtime, and then they get one KO turns into 15, and just back and forth chaining over and over. And now we see nxzd with the flip, Katsuna close to one. This could be their opportunity. They have the energy economy to win this point. They just have to get it through. But that's two flips burned. Able to get the barrier, but now NX is low. Joker's also low. Oh, but Soren able to put it in the chaos and take a second set for EKC.
Yep, that is a huge set secure by Soren. Katsuna first pick. And I'm looking at that team player right now. That team player on Barcode could be devastating Reptile Remedy taken / denied is huge, but no, actually, team player passed up in favor of the Dash Awakening on the Mako. I'm surprised. Will it get passed up completely? Sure. Surely it lands somewhere, right? No, it's completely passed up here. It is a lane map after all, but I feel like with how long these points are going, team player could make the difference, especially for Showtime. But they're valuing the speed. They need the maneuverability to be able to avoid these KOs and to be able to push up consistently. And we'll see if that pans out for them, because that Super Surge is going to do a lot of work on that Mako secondary.
Oh, absolutely. I'm with you. I'm pretty surprised that team player did not get picked up. Even on Shanzu would have been really nice, but like you said, Mako with the Dash Awakening, that's going to be revolutionary especially for Joker. If he's being pressured and taken low, they have a lot of opportunities. But Barcode taken down. Point not over yet, though, as the massive turret is here. Timeless. Oh, we're seeing the health bars disappear as that's another ace for EKC. And that's another point on the board for them. 2 more to win the game here. And Constant taking the Reptile Remedy doesn't give that to Showtime. And obviously, I think that point would have looked very different if they did have Reptile.
Yeah, now that I'm looking back on it, it does make a lot of sense, especially the Monumentalist pickup, despite the Super Surge take from Barcode, right? I would have liked that Super Surge. Still getting a crazy damage build with the Firewall Sentry this time. And of course, with this game being how it's going so far, with the Starting Awakening being extra special, Soren has so much offensive pressure every single time that Firewall Sentry is put down. But the question is, can you hold against the Joker long enough? And the question has been answered for this point, at least. And the answer is yes.
Yeah, Soren rocking with the legendary turret build, extra special, Timeless Creator, Monumentalist. Really everything you could ever want. Great for defense, honestly, just in the corner, able to put a lot of pressure onto the Asher here. And another net opened for EKC here. They just got to get it in, and Constant almost does. nxzd close to a flip, dangerously close even. That could just be a clean point secured right there, as the punch on Barcode gave him the energy he needed to get that flip, and is going to seal that point out. It's looking incredibly EKC favored here.
Yep, and we'll see if they can keep it up here. A good evade by Shianzu, but that means Shianzu's in trouble. The Ensnared Drums actually hurt Joker's attempt at the barrier. It feeds it to the Firewall Sentry, which conveyors it out of there. Now Katsuna trying to 1v1 Barcode with the strikes. So much damage by nxzd. And if he can keep up the chip here, that could be huge, but nxzd needs to be careful. The Julie found incredibly low. At the moment, shrunk, slowed, staggered across the map, but still can pick up the orb. Joker's in pursuit, but an elusive Will buy enough time. No, not quite. Not enough to regen, but Joker's the one who's in trouble now.
Yeah, taken dangerously low, exploded by that Rose Warp at Tatsuna. But nxzd and Soren, not looking too great. This could be an opportunity for Showtime once Joker gets back. nxzd going for the orb in the power play. Tatsuna just putting on a ton of pressure, going through, keeping the ball up, but nothing found here in that power play. NX forced to walk back for the orb. The big turret doing big damage, but in the meantime, nothing quite found, as the Joker's just having... It's a rough day, as he has been once again shot in the head, taken out. Shanzu with the flip, though, going to use it. Burn Katsuna's flip, and just looking for an opportunity to get something in the reverse power play, try and pick something up, anything, as Barcode is just unrelenting once again. And we're back. He's doing it again. Barcode's doing it again, where he just doesn't drop the barrier. And it's going to be barrier for Showtime right there.
Oh, and that barrier take means that Joker just needs one more opportunity to find a flick to the top side. Dash into strike, and Showtime are still in this set. It could have been really bad in that power play. But Joker's been given time, and if you can build up those stacks enough, if Barcode can hold enough, if EKC can't find the KOs in time, then Showtime have an opportunity to get themselves back in this one.
Yeah, the Joker does have 2 sparks, agility and strength, and so just he does have a lot of speed at base already and is looking to maneuver, but that's going to be barrier down. Soren with the flip might be able to end the game, but here using it on defense, saving the barrier, and really on these 1 barrier maps, just 2 mistakes can end the game. So here, Barcode, almost losing it, great flip, able to catch it. But that's going to be the KO onto Joker that could end this game.
It could be curtains here for Showtime in this IME Zap. And it is, with nxzd finding the dash punch onto Barcode. There we go. EKC will take it.
Yeah, a little shaky on some of these points. A little Showtime doing exactly what they're known for and just holding out until the sun blows up. But eventually, EKC was afforded enough opportunities to get everything they needed, get the barrier, get the goal, get a couple more KOs while they're at it. And again, like we talked about earlier, the meta has shifted away from what Showtime's known for, or away from something that favors Showtime spectacularly, and EKC has really been just loving it. And 21 KOs on nxzd is I think, a great way to sum up how this game went.
Yeah, that is indeed how it went here. And now, we're going to look to game 2, Clarion Test Chamber. That has been Showtime's stronghold for so long. What do you think EKC have what it takes to get them on Clarion?
I think if they keep playing how they are, how well they have been, I think they have a pretty good chance. We saw Showtime lose to Bun Bun earlier in the season on Clarion. I think that was their first loss on the map in a while, if not ever. And so we've seen before they can lose on that map, despite how good they are at it. It's, you know, still could be in the cards. And so, and again, EKC has just been having such a great season. I struggled to put absolutes in Showtime's court. I think EKC just eventually will scale beyond what any defense that Showtime can put up. Especially, again, if they get to Juliette, just that character. I'm telling you, 21 KOs, like, especially nxzd, who's been playing it even when people were saying she was bad back in like season 4. He shows up, he gets 5 million KOs. Clarion's such a great map for looking for those KOs with all the tight corners, corridors, times that you want to play up against the wall. I wouldn't be surprised if Showtime just banned it, because I believe this is their map pick and they'll be red side. But we'll have to see. Until then, I don't know. I obviously Showtime has a great opportunity here to take a game, even it up. It is still their map, even though I downplayed them. It is still their map. So I will have to see when the draft shows up. But I'm looking forward to the next game, if nothing else.
Yeah, and we'll see if that is indeed the case here. We're just waiting for the side select to come in, so it's a bit of a wait. But yeah, Clarion is definitely a map where EKC's picks aren't really limited. Like you mentioned, it will probably be a Juliette ban, or maybe a Juliette pick from Joker. We might see that come into play. But with EKC being blue side, that is probably not likely. Like you mentioned. Wow, I'm just repeating what you're saying.
Hey, we sometimes at the breaks between games run a little long, and really just there's only so much to talk about. But draft revving up here, and oh my goodness, goodness gracious, Castellast adrenaline rush. I don't care about the soup. I don't care about Castellast. I want to watch an adrenaline rush game. Oh my god, especially after that last game. This one could be wild.
It really could be. This is going to be a treat, and we'll see what picks are let through. I'll be very afraid if a Juliette is let through. It won't be. But yeah, Showtime have to be afraid when they're facing EKC with Adrenaline Rush start. Like, it's their start.
It's their start. Like, you just can't let the Juliette through.
But there's a Katsuna Luna.
And that's a great point, and that's really a
There's
an
a
awkward
Juliette. There's a
situation to
Juliette
be
let
in.
through. Is it B1 Juliette? It is B1. Oh, EKC. Oh, EKC are gonna have a fun time with this game. Oh man.
Wow.
If you're Showtime, what do you think you're gonna try to handle it with?
Well, it's gonna be tough. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of Atlas action. I think that's a character that's pretty strong into Juliette broadly. Barcode, it, you know, has to just hover the ult button at all times, get ready to save someone in case things are looking a little hairy. But otherwise, it's pretty comfortable to sit in one of the corners that eventually develops on Clarion when a barrier goes down, and you have abilities to just beat most of what you can put up. And so, obviously, we're probably going to see the exact same comp out of EKC if it's let through. I think the Estelle is just such a great accessory to the Juliette. Where Juliette can just force things through the corner, Estelle can cover the cross with, from pretty much anywhere. You've got a blink, you've got an ult, you've got an awesome beam. It does it all. That character just has so many tools, and then the Imi in the back to just keep throwing out damage, put up pressure. But we are seeing Era Mako locked in for Showtime again. Daring today, aren't we? And Mako also a good character. Just hold in the corner, give speed. And Showtime's really has to rely on all the speed that they have on their side to win. It just wasn't enough the last game, but different map, different situation. We could see it pan out for them this time.
Definitely a possibility. Oh, but I'm still so scared. I think that nxzd is going to have so much fun in this game, and although it's not Imi's app, NX really didn't KO into the center. Like, he was just KOing off the side. He was just doing normal map KOs on Imi's app. Of course, people are pushed close to the edge to get away from the center, so it is easier for NX, but like, those KOs, like, kind of didn't look like Imi's app KOs, even though they did, but kind of not, you know?
Yeah, those were closed map KOs where like you don't have the room in the center to hang out, so you have to be on the wall, and then the Juliette missile comes at your location and GG, and boom, suddenly your hands are off the keyboard for 13 seconds, and really it's all Juliette's just always a threat, even on open maps, which Clarion has a few variants. Like, more often than not, especially the midfielder, will be playing against the wall and just looking like a juicy target for Juliette to swoop in and take out. The brawler usually has way more freedom to stand in open spaces to look for passes with the midfielder, or just hang out in the open to be away from the walls. But you still find yourself on the walls or in the corner or all these situations where you could be dash punched. And so the threat is always looming. And I think Showtime played pretty well against dash punch that last game. It usually took one of their members getting staggered to be KO'd by the dash punch. So obviously EKC pulling up with their comp, really conducive to staggering people and giving those opportunities to nxzd to just get the KOs. But if they're able to hold on long enough with the classic Mako era X, then maybe they can avoid the dash punches, prevent that win condition from coming online. It's going to be really hard. Both these teams are just kind of massive skill checks. Like, can you stay alive against the Juliette, and can you hold out against the pressure of Era X here?
Yeah, the Kitten comp against the Kitten Club, featuring Soren as the kitten, but not the kitten in terms of the kitten. Anyway, nxzd brought very low. The damage output of the Mako Era X is nothing to be scoffed at, and Shianzu rushing in as well to find the pressure. It is looking quite good as Joker finds the first KO. The Adrenaline Rush proc, the Firewall Sentry activated, but Joker with a double kill. And now it's 3v1 as Soren holds for a little while. Soren holds for a long while, but that's the end of it.
Yeah, it looked to go cover the pass, prevent Xianzhu from getting any value in that play, but obviously in a 2v1, that's going to leave one side of the net open, and that's not how I expected that first point to go. We're seeing we do have nxzd on the Pummeler's ad rush. Soren, the one not to pick up ad rush, which sort of makes sense. You know, Castellize giving a longer turret, and obviously, like, Soren is the damage dealer, but not necessarily the KO finder. It's very difficult to get a good angle to find KOs with dash on Imigoli. But you know who doesn't have problems with KOs? It's nxzd. He's back. He's here, and that's an Adrenaline Rush proc. Not going to be getting a second KO off the ult, but still almost gets a second barrier. Actually does. Katsuna able to stuff out the flip with a well-timed strike, and now Katsuna low in a very dangerous spot, but so is Joker, and that's that just means that both these players have to go get their orbs and play a little defensively. The tempo slows down, but Katsuna going for a fancy dribble off the middle. Just we're seeing a lot of great play from Soren as the turret able to help put a ton of pressure in that corner. Glitch pop weaved in there to get the first point for EKC.
Yep, very, very well played. They're keeping it very competitive at the moment as Soren still has that flip available. Xianzhu being taken down low early, and that's a big target for nxzd, really, as this variant is prone to having damage stacked on someone, having damage stick. Awkward flip right to Xianzhu. Joker brought relatively low as well, and Katsuna's got to be careful. The Ensnare Drum's perfectly placed by Barcode, and Katsuna sticks around in the triangle a little bit too long. Gets staggered, and this could be an ad rush proc, but nxzd on the other end. Soren not back in time. Xianzhu capitalizes with both barriers, and the Maelstrom will part the sea to secure the goal itself. It's a 2-1 lead for Showtime here.
Yeah, a great point from Showtime. That Ensnare Drum from Barcode to seal Katsuna in the goop was, I think, pivotal. It brought a ton of offense to Showtime as Katsuna just was not able to play super offensively. Had to be careful, and EKC looked to get that opportunity, capitalize on like damage dumping Joker and looking for something, but Xianzhu just came in and completely won out the point. Now on the bouncy barn, this really could go either way, because I think I would favor Showtime's comp here for the defense that they have, but if Soren's able to generate enough offense to just blow through the Mako here, they could take a quick point. That being said, the point running down the clock close to overtime here, and that's the longer it goes, the more Showtime is favored here.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. nxzd to the top side, and Katsuna to the bottom. Showtime, they might have been favored, but not anymore, I feel like. Flip burned by Barcode. And with an open net at their back, it's going to be so difficult to play when the bounces are so crazy. nxzd looking for it, and Barcode uncharacteristically hits it right back at him. It's an evened up set, and EKC are in a very good spot.
Yeah, welcome back to point 5. I just more and more of them coming in, but here Barcode no energy, Soren full bar, kind of a dangerous spot. You know, a great opportunity to get an offensive play or just hold it for defense, which I imagine is the more likely situation. And here, flip burned by Xianzhu and Katsuna getting the orb. EKC has a ton of momentum here, a ton going for them as Xianzhu looking low, and EKC is really staying the course and getting everything they want here. That's another barrier and open net, and this might just be it.
Ooh, and what a shot by nxzd. Getting past Xianzhu and Joker. The staggered pressure is quite significant there as Soren gets first pick. What are you looking at to really bring the game into their favor here?
Explosive entrance. That could be pretty good. Dash Awakening on the IME would be very nice. Or we're probably going to see the bulk up denied. Monumentalist, though, someone really specking into this turret, and bulk up left up. Shanzu taking the primetime, has primetime cast last now, is just saying, like, we're going to win by shrinking them. all the massive damage threats, they're going to be very small and not do much. The heavy impact that NXzd was hovering going to Katsuna here, and this is an immaculate EKC draft. Really, just everything they want. Bulk up Juliette, Monu, Aimee, heavy impact Estelle. Like, hard to think of better picks for these characters. And on the other end, a KO for Showtime, but Primetime, a Dash Awakening for Barcode there with the explosive, and honestly might not bad. It's not like a massive chasm, like super EKC Giga win, but it is very nice. Both teams definitely got a lot of what they wanted here.
Yep. We'll see if nxzd can survive. That's the main thing. Prevent an ad rush proc, regen back up, just dancing around in the invis of Project Xeno. There's a dash punch, not quite enough to take out Xianzu, but Joker, just a good shot, means that Showtime closed out this point.
Yep. Just going to be taking them. And again, just Showtime has such precision and elegance, able to get shots like that. And really, I would anticipate more capitalizations on an Aimee goalie. Obviously not the paragon of defense, but Soren been playing it so well, been just keeping all of those opportunities shut, not letting anything come through here, and still has both barriers up. Oh my god, a 1,000 arrows coming straight to Joker's location is going to be taking that guy out after the dash punch flip. Not quite enough, and that's the ad rush proc. And EKC, welcome back. This is your start, and this is kind of looking like your game to win, but Barcode, unrelenting here, is not letting anything go through.
Yeah, Joker might be flying, but the 1,000 arrows do hit. Xianzu, incredibly staggered at the moment, could be the power play, trying to find a bounce to the other side, but Barcode misjudges the bouncy house bounce, and there's a point. It was 1-1. EKC tied up in this set, and that's good. If they can secure a chaotic point like that and come into the next point with energy, I'm a little scared if you're Showtime.
Yeah, I'm really scared if you're Showtime. Sets both barriers down, and I feel like the bounce house is such a nice map for Showtime. It's the one that they can compete on really well, and this one is just looking like EKC masterclass. That's the flip, confirmed with the glitch pop. Very well done by Soren, and they have all the momentum. They have all the tools they need to finish out this game. Of course, important to remember, this is Mako Era X. This is the scaling comp, the slow burner, and things don't really start getting going for them until set 3. But this set 2 might be a different story, as big KO found there. Not that it's going to influence the point a ton, but bringing us to another 0.5. Showtime has been looking on the back foot all game, but they're still keeping up. They're still in it. They're still putting up a ton of pressure, and any sets won by Mako Era X before set 3, anything short of the reverse 3-0, going to be very nice. Going to be exceptional for Showtime, but again, going to be really hard to get it done with everything that EKC has at their disposal.
Yep. Kitsune and nxzd rushing forward to ad rush proc, doing so much work. Finally, it falls off, but that's a lot of energy built as well. The energy advantage firmly in their hands, but Kitsune sets up for a piercing shot, and that self-root is enough for Joker to capitalize on the other end, but nxzd sees the Fireball Sentry doing its work and says, wow, thanks for the setup, Soren. Finds the KO, finds the ad rush, and goes for a KO onto Barcode. There's a dash punch flip. Fantastically played to see the angle when Barcode was self-slowing again. And again, it's just such good capitalization off of people using laggy abilities. And Xianzu, a rare misstep on the strike, Wow, that's a huge set for EKC.
As a massive set for EKC. Showtime close to eking out one of the first 2 sets. Pulling ahead there, but unfortunately not quite. And here, terrifying draft. Just this is not what you want to see. We're looking at Super Surge Aimee locked in right here. No other Creation Awakenings, which Soren seems to be going all in on, which is honestly a great strategy. The 1-2 punch being denied, but honestly, what a terrible situation, because you don't want the Juliette to have 1-2 punch or Prize Fighter. Prize Fighter, just that's going to be so much more power on the bulk up Juliette. 167 right now, just starting off the round. And team player to Katsuna, not playing to the win condition of we're gonna blow them up, but a good deny, not letting that go through. KO found by Xianzhu after after so much damage going to Showtime. Very, very interesting turn of events, but like Joker got size. That's the big thing. And 1-2 punch for the core speed is going to be nice. But otherwise, like it's such a this one was an EKC draft chasm. This is so good for them, and I don't know if the Mako era X has scaled enough to stop EKC here.
Yeah, they really needed that previous set, it feels like, because nxzd now is just rolling with the Prize Fighter. That's basically undeniable there. Soren setting up, and Showtime just being punished for not being completely on their game against the KO, right? That they let nxzd get away with a little too much, and now it's not about whether they let him get away with it. He could just get it all done himself.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking 213 power, 3 Prize Fighter stacks from that first point, and he just gets to run around free. Katsuna also getting some hits in, but notably KO'd by the Nada right there, which has been happening quite a bit. But another KO found by EKC. Not even one of the ad rush guys. Soren just jumping in, and EKC just they have unlimited power plays. They have them all.
But no goals. Right here,
but no goals.
Where's the goal? You know, like they lose the self barrier. they find another power play, but no goals. And now Xianzhu's going up with the dribbling play. Barcode still defending. They have the KO, but no goals.
But no goals! Oh my god.
Wait, but really no goals. There's a flip out from Barcode. EKC. Okay, they're gonna take out the goal. Okay, there we go. There's the goal.
There's the goal. EKC lore. Oh, wow. Wow, what a... Oh my god. I got really excited for the Xianzhu hero play, but unfortunately they just killed him. They just... And not even... No whimsy. Not even a chance. But a few scary spots for EKC there. Notably, a couple self-oopsies. And honestly, if I'm Showtime, I'm going to run away with that, because right now it's series point, and they... have the net open. As long as Joker is able to stay alive, this could be great for... Oh, no.
Oh, no. Well, it's a EKC power play. They still need to work through 2 barriers. A weird bounce.
Oh, no.
Backwards, almost scores, and Barco trying to lock the top one down here. Xianzhu helping out as well. The rebounds defended still by Showtime as Joker returns. The chip damage, though, will be coming into play. Joker being chipped yet again, and nxzd with the flick, not enough. Oh, but there it is. There's the obtuse angle. Not looking very cute now as nxzd 3-0, and that's EKC taking the series.
That's right, and it was an EKC game all the way through, down to its bones. A lot of 0.5s, a lot of close calls, but in the end, EKC had everything. Just every tool afforded to them. Another 10 KOs in this 3-set game. They could just, at the drop of a hat, completely change the tide of the game. They ruled it all. And so that's going to be a very nice EKC win. I believe bringing them, let me take a look. Let me get real close. 4-2, tied with the other 2 top teams, Showtime and Hug, who both have taken a loss today. Now EKC entering that upper echelon in the standings of of teams, and for good reason. I don't know if you saw what I just saw, but they're looking like a top contender right now.
Yeah, they were looking very, very good. And of course, this is the EKC style, right? The ad rush, the prize fighter. Even when they don't have the awakenings, it feels like they do. But with the awakenings, they snowballed into infinity. Showtime, we're going to have to go back to the drawing board, because heading into the season, we thought maybe this is Showtime season. It's Showtime. And every team might have gotten weaker. But we forgot that EKC, it's still EKC.
Yeah, and they are thriving. I think really Showtime has to look. They're playing the comps in the style of how they always have, and in the past it has worked. Last season they won it all. Great, but I think the meta is still very unsolved. There's still a lot. It seems like there's a lot to work with here, but I don't think the Mako era feed your brawler strategy is strong enough to compete against like EKC slamming full damage, which I think they should always do. It's what they're good at. It's working. And so I think Showtime can still put barcode on the melee goalies, hunker down. I don't think that's a pain point, but I think that they just need to figure out some sort of new way to continue playing what they have, because the funnel, the brawler, is just not coming online. That being said, they are still 4-2. Like, hard to argue with that. Maybe I think this is a pretty tough loss, but still, they're not worried about making playoffs. I'm pretty sure one win away from soft guarantee, so still riding comfortable. But if they want to win it all, and I know that they do, you gotta take a look at their options and see what's going on.
Yeah, EKC though, looking great right now in their path to playoffs. Their later matchups are Hug, RTF, and PP. Oh, okay. Well, their later schedule is a little bit difficult, but all good. EKC, that kind of performance inspires a lot of confidence. And there's only one match left in today. It's soon to be Strikers versus Demons Raw. So we'll see those two land polar opposites in our final match right after this.